Last week I bought this e-bike, and my first impression after riding it was, when the government realises how good these are going to be made illegal. From the comparison of a car or a motorbike, there's no tax, no insurance, no MOT. It's cheap to run. It's not restricted to go certain places. And the thing that made me think I'm going to buy an e-bike was, I've been in Asia for the last year. In Asia, Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, you get on a bike and you just go, like, if you are willing to drive down the road, you can go down the road. There's no, I suppose there is technically a speed limit, but it's not really enforced. There's no such thing in fucking Thailand. I can't imagine such a thing as a bus route, or a 20 mile an hour speed limit. It's just not done. And I'm used to that now. So when I drove, I borrowed someone's car the first week I was back. And this is after a year of not driving in England, over a year. And this way that I would normally go, used to be able to just drive straight through. Now it was a 20, and it's sort of been changed to be able to accommodate cyclists, even though I've literally never seen anyone cycle up there apart from myself. And it was like, they've got these bollards that come out, so it's sort of one lane, and then it's places to pull in. So there's that, and then the next section of the road has an ANPR camera, and you can only go down that road at certain times. And I was just like, what the fuck is all of this? I'm just trying to go somewhere, and now I've got to, I don't want to be restricted in moving around like that. It's just frustrating. On this, you go down a bus lane. Half of Southampton city centre now is all bus routes, which this can go down. If you drive from one side of Southampton to the other side, you literally have to do like a massive detour. And it just feels like a waste of time. And then you got to go and find parking. And then I went to park somewhere and it's like £6.80 for 2 hours. And I'm just kind of like, not really feeling that. Plus, this just sort of goes anywhere, and I feel like a lot of the roads actually around are a lot of pavements have this shared access thing, and toucan crossings everywhere. So I think for cycling now is a better time than any for cycling. Obviously, at the moment it's the British summer. It's what time? 9 p.m. and you got this nice sunset. So yeah, this time of year is definitely better. But this, again, I feel like no one vehicle does it all. If you've got a car and you live in a town, it's a bit of a nightmare to park it, to go in and out. There's always traffic. And after being away from here for a year and coming back, it seems like traffic is way worse, and it's just way busier all the time, everywhere. So on this, you just whiz past. I think I need, and I've reasoned this to myself in whatever way, but I need a car, a motorbike, and an electric bike, and probably the non-electric mountain bike as well. Because it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, right? You need different vehicles for different activities. And it doesn't make sense to try and do it all in one go. So I wanted something that suited the way I'm going to use it. I want to be able to go down any road, through parks, down cycle routes, to be able to go on gravel or paved roads or through the woods, and sort of it's more fun on an electric bike. It's just zippy. You're off. And there's a lot of, I cycle between Eastleigh and Winchester a lot. And I went a totally different way the other day that was sort of past Marwell Zoo. So that's more lanes, and it's really hilly. Like, there's massive hills there. And I would normally avoid going that way, and sort of stick to the river where it's more flat and more of a dirt track along the Itchen navigation. But the point is basically that there are ways which I've now been able to go and see totally different routes because of having the electric bike, like ways I would have never have gone just because they were so hilly. And I'll put the clip up, and the place was just wicked, you know, it was so good. And then the cycle's like way quicker. I got there so fast, even though I went this like totally different sort of long-winded way. And then, yeah, it's just nice. I feel like I've probably got quite a biased perspective of this bike now, but to give you some understanding, I've ridden all different bikes. I've had loads of road bikes, single speed, flat bar racer bikes, hybrids, mountain bikes, and I kind of came to the conclusion that the mountain bike was just not built for what I was using it for. And I also didn't really want a road bike because I feel like the roads are really rough. They're great and they're fast and they're good for workouts and stuff. And I don't know if I used to think about this differently when I was younger, but I do not feel safe cycling on the road. I never used to care about how close someone would overtake me. There was this guy in Southampton that used to like upload videos like of cars overtaking him really close and like report them. This is like before that was a thing, like nearly 10 years ago. And I used to think it was really silly. I used to think, why have you got a problem with that? It's fine, you know. But now, I don't know if it's like once the brain is fully formed, like I think more about risk. And I just don't feel comfortable cycling on the road. It's just not safe whatsoever. Even myself driving, cyclists piss me off. As a cyclist, I've seen so many situations where a car is behind me for a long time. The road's narrow, they haven't really got a chance to overtake. And they just get frustrated and overtake you quickly and closely. And I had the most ridiculous one the other day. I won't give the details of it, but it was just so close. And the person was so old and they were about to pull into doctor's surgery. And I was just thinking, I just laughed because, you know, there's nothing that you can do about it, obviously. But, well, get off the fucking road. Like, you can't really be cycling on the road. It's not set up for cars and bikes. Unless there's a massive cycle lane that is almost completely separate to the road. It's just not set up for it. It's not safe at all. So, yeah, I've been sticking to pavements. That's kind of why I got this mirror. Just because if I'm going to get mowed, at least I can get out of the way. And that mirror is actually quite nice quality one. I wasn't sure if it was going to wobble around, but it actually is really good. And then you can just fold that down. Didn't see that, but you can just fold that down really easily. I went for this light. I just wanted something super bright. Yeah, that's the brightest setting. It's a beast. These Nog lights are good quality. And this just pops off. And it's just a torch. Let me see if I can go somewhere a bit dark. Show you what this is like. You know? That's a good light. And then on that setting, that flicker, and then there's another setting which is like this one, which is on, and then it sort of twitches. That's really eye-catching, and not many lights do that. That's a bit of a nerdy bike light thing. But when I've been driving and I spot a cyclist, it's because they've got the light flashing like that. I've ordered stuff which is like reflective, this white reflective jacket. And like, these are things which I wouldn't have thought about before. I don't know if it's because I'm just a bit older now and like can sort of buy whatever I need. Even in broad daylight, you can't see people on bikes. Yeah, they're so small on the road, they're not visible. Like, I saw a guy today and he was about 6'6", massive bloke, cycling towards me in the New Forest, and he had a black t-shirt on, black shorts, black bike, and then the only thing that stood out was that he had a white helmet on. That was the only thing I saw. You're driving down sort of forest type roads with a pair of sunglasses on because it's the middle of summer, right? Someone wearing all black is not very visible, but when that light is on that blink setting, you see that people react to you. And also, you know, people can say what they like about this, it's nerdy or it's whatever, but, you know, I'm not trying to die when I go for a bike ride. And the other thing is that even in the daytime, I always have that on. Like, I leave both those lights on all the time. I do actually need to get some extra lights on the back of this. The only thing I don't like about that rear mudguard, or sorry, the bag, is there's not really somewhere to clip a light. And I want to be like, you cannot miss me, right? Because if I have to go near a road, like, I don't want to die. So yeah, I think that compared to just a normal bike, this has the ability to go to much different places. It's much more comfortable. It's fun to have the electric assist. So the shop that I bought this from is called the Electric Bike Shop. The one I went to is in Battersea. I think they've got a few different stores around. I went there because they said they do test rides. And then I test rode this exact bike and was just like, yeah, I'm taking that. They were good. They were helpful. They've got a lot of stuff that you need for the accessories. I also, part of my decision-making process for going new was that there's a warranty and stuff on the battery, on the motor, and if you bought one second-hand, you've just got no recourse if there's an issue, and you're just sort of stuck with it. Also, this bike, no one has really made a video about this bike. It is a beast, and I paid 2,600 for it. It's worth that all day. I think the next one up of this style is the Cube Kathmandu, which does look very nice as well. And I think it's got some more slightly upgraded parts than this. But I went for this one in the Pro because I think it's got better brakes. I think 11 gears instead of 9 or something. You can compare it. I found ChatGPT to be quite helpful when I was comparing the models, because the videos just aren't out there. Absolute monster. I've done a couple 100 miles on it so far. Love it. I couldn't really imagine life without this now. Now I've got that comfortable seat and the bars and I'm just sat up. When I went out for a ride with my brother, he was just like, you look so comfortable on that, because I'm sat up so much straighter. And the only thing that was very different for me was that I needed a much wider seat for the sat up style, because when you're leant forward, your arms and shoulders are sort of taking a lot of your weight. The different angle that you're sitting at determines sort of where the pressure is, where on how you're sat. So on a more sat up bike, the wider saddle is good, and it's instantly, you know, perfect to ride. Amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely pro e-bike. People say, oh, de-restrict it, right? I don't want to get pulled over and have my bike taken off me, right? I'm not interested in getting some fine or points or something for being on an illegal vehicle, or something which should have insurance or something like that. Right? I'm not interested in any of that. And also, if I've changed the settings on the Float app, which is the app to change the modes, and I've made it +5 and +5, so it's like the most powerful, most assistance. On that, it's too much acceleration in a lot of situations, and I'm used to riding fast. I love riding fast, but in a lot of situations, the acceleration is too quick. And for example, going down a hill, I done one pedal, one crank, and instantly, because it accelerated me so fast, and then I was going downhill, I was doing 25 miles an hour from one pedal. It's fast enough, and it is so fast that, you know, I'm always riding around, I'm doing 17, 18 miles an hour. On a mountain bike or like a normal bicycle, non-electric, that's pretty fast. Like you're pretty much pedaling quite hard to be doing 17 to 20 miles an hour. That's more like road bike territory, right? I feel like I need a helmet, and I never wear a helmet. I've never really worn helmets on bicycles, but now I'm just like, I should probably be wearing a helmet because this thing's rapid. So I think there's a time and a place for this. In the winter, it's probably not going to get that much use. In the rain, it's probably not going to get that much use, you know. But then that's what a car's for. So there's pros and cons to every vehicle. But for me and what I'm using it for on a regular basis, this is like spot on for me.